Hey, my lovely people. Welcome back to A Black Cat's Voice. It's your host, Kat. Finally back after some years, after life done tried to take your girl out. You feel me? But she ain't know I had hands. Okay. But I'm back, y'all. I'm back, refreshed, feeling amazing, mostly. And I've had to heal myself from so many things because for me, when I push positivity and I push encouraging messages, I feel like it's hypocritical for me to be telling people to think or feel and act in a certain way if I don't feel that way myself. So that's why I had to take a very long, much needed break from recording. But I'm back, I'm here, and I'm ready to get into some things with y'all because it has been a lot going on. It has been a lot going on. So, today's topic that I really want to get into, I call social media activism. Now, I know y'all see it. I know y'all seen the pattern of so many people who go so hard on social media, but ain't really doing anything to help in real life. Like nothing. You know, perfect example. You have all these people who will post all day and share all these different pages, share all these different sad pictures and stories and stuff like that. And in real life, they have not donated not $1 to a charity, or even if you don't donate, to charity in real life, they haven't donated clothes to anybody, haven't even given $1 to somebody on the street who looked like they couldn't afford a meal tonight. But want to post all day on social media like they're really out here caring about people. It's really sick what some people will do for attention. Like, for those of you who may be unaware, I started this podcast, A Black Cat's Voice, as a way to really tell my story back in 2020 when all the Black Lives Matter, the protests, the George Floyd, it was so much stuff going on. And for me, I have been battling chronic illnesses, for a while. And I just had a lot of stuff going on in my life at that time as well. So I couldn't go out and protest. Even if I really wanted to, there was no way I could do it. So I had to really sit and think, what can I do in real life to show and to help my people? Because it's a lot going on with Black people, as it always is. But during that time, that's, what I kept thinking. And I was like, you know what? I should make a podcast and just share my stories about being a Black woman. Just share my experiences of what I've gone through, when I found out that I was Black. Okay? Because I promise you, I just thought I was a person. I just thought I was a girl. I just thought I was a woman. And for me, it's like people will always tell us as Black people not to make everything about race. And it's like you can try so hard not to, but the world will always have a way of showing you that you Black, And it's like they always say we want to play the race card, but I can't play a card I wasn't dealt. You feel me? So I'm saying all that to say that I decided to be, that activist in real life. People know I don't play about my people. I've always been the same way. But I just like my love for people does not just extend to Black people, And I really feel like it's not right to speak on an experience that I have not had or that I do not know enough about. So that's why when it comes to a lot of issues, especially A Black Cat's Voice is not just a podcast. I'm a writer. I write books. I make positive content videos. I write positive quotes. Like, I do a lot of things, to help people stay in a higher vibration and, in a good vibe and with good energy with everything going on. And to me, it contradicts me telling you what I know about how to make yourself happy, what I know about, my experiences as a Black person, because I've been Black my whole life. It contradicts all that for me to suddenly start speaking on things that I don't know nothing about. You know, I don't really know too much about what's going on in other countries. You feel me? And then even with certain situations here with ICE and everything like that, like my friends and the people in my life that have dealt with those things know in real life how much I care, you know? So me posting on social media does not really, like, to me that's extra. Like, I don't feel like I have to prove how much I care to anybody. And I've noticed the pattern of those people that kind of want to post about these issues every single day. A lot of time it be for attention, you know? And I really hate it because during Black Lives Matter, you know, a lot of what everybody was talking about I have been talking about for years. You know, I didn't have a podcast, but anybody who follows me on social media knows that I have been posting about, you know, the injustices against Black people. I've been posting about how you get treated when you're a certain skin color, or when people think, you know, you're going to behave a certain way, or when your hair looks a certain way. I've been speaking on all this stuff, you know, that a lot of people just started speaking on in 2020, you know, and I'm thinking that all these people genuinely care about me and my people, and they're just posting my stuff for attention to show that they have a Black friend. Like, I found out from even not just 2020, even up till now, I didn't know that I was people's Black friend, you know, because I thought we was just cool. You know, I don't need you to relate to me as a Black person. I need you to relate to me from person to person first, you know. And it was just so hurtful finding out all these people I thought was really cool with me don't really even like me for real, you know, because it's just like, if you care about somebody and you care about, you know, what offends them, you work on how you treat them in real life. You know, you can't tell me on social media, oh, I care about Black people, I respect Black people, all of this. And then when I see you in real life, the N word is every other word flying out your mouth, and you don't even talk like that. So it's like, what is it giving? Like, if you really respect somebody, there are small actions that you could take. Because for me, I would have rather all them people that was posting my videos, I would have rather just never heard you saying a racial slur that people say to hurt me and ridicule me. I would have just rather never heard you say that than to see you post every single day about how Black Lives Matter and about how much you care about an experience you don't even relate to. It's social media activism at its finest. And that's why when it comes to a lot of issues, when it comes to stuff happening in other countries, when it comes to ICE, even here, I don't speak on a lot of things because it's not my place. You know, it's the people who are experiencing it, they have a right to talk about it, you know? And if I support you and the people that know, I support you in real life. You know, I show up for people in real life. I care about people in real life. And you can be whoever you want for the internet, but in real life, it's always going to show who you really are. You feel me? Like, the way that you respect people shows a lot about how you feel about yourself. You know, just because I speak on Black issues, it don't mean that people who aren't Black can't relate to it. You know, and just like when I speak on regular general topics like anxiety or depression, you know, it don't mean that only Black people experience that. We can all relate to each other. And the thing that I don't like about politics, about religion, about all these labels that people give each other is that it divides us when we're so much more powerful together. You know, just because I happen to be darker than you, it doesn't mean I can't understand your pain. You know, just because I might have grown up, you know, with more money than you had, or vice versa, it doesn't mean that we can never be friends. And the more that we sit and compare our struggles with each other, the more it causes us to fight. And that's why I hate whenever there's issues and they push like just only issues with a certain group of people, because it makes it seem like everybody's not going through things. And that's really not fair. You know, like, I understand, and I was definitely very much that person that when I was saying Black Lives Matter, I didn't need people to say all lives matter, because I know all lives matter. But I'm Black and I'm hurting, dealing with experiences that I've had as a Black person. So right now I'm worried about the Black people. You know what I mean? And I feel like Everybody has a right to tell their story and to elaborate on their pain, but nobody has a right to belittle anybody's story or experience just because it's different from theirs. You know, just because I may not know exactly what you're going through, just because I may not post on my social media about it, it doesn't mean I don't care. You know, if you want to be a good person and you want to help people, then be that in real life, because more than anything you could ever post online, more than anything you could ever show us on the internet, you could feel in real life. You could feel how it feels when somebody really loves you. You could see how people light up when they see you if they really care about you. You can even hear the excitement and how people react when they talk to you, when they truly love you and care about you. So the best way you can help people is in real life. I'm not saying delete your social media. I'm not saying, social media doesn't help anything, but I'm saying there's limits to everything. And it's only so much talking you can do before you have to take action. Before you got to take action, period. So if you're going to help and if you're going to be good to people, please do it in real life, because we need it out here. We do. We really do. And please remember that we are all stronger together than we'll ever be when we separate and divide against one another. Before I get off the air, I would just like to say thank you so much to everybody who has been supporting me. I'm not just a podcast host. I write poetry books. I do, poetry performances and events when I have time. I post positive content. I do a lot of things because it really helps with my mental health and my healing to stay motivated, and to stay in the space of remembering that no matter what I go through, even when I go through hard things, I don't hide when I go through hard things, because I feel like it's okay to go through tough things in life. Life is hard. Sometimes life, especially 2025, will come in swinging. You feel me? And you just got to take it. You feel like you just got to take it. And it can be so hard, but you can get through it. As long as you never, ever, ever give up on yourself, you can get through anything. And that's why I created a Black Cat's Voice, because every day that I wake up and do this work, it shows me that I really can get through anything, because I'm doing it every single day. Every single day. And if I can do it, if I can get through all the trauma, all the different kinds of abuse I've experienced, then there is hope. And there is definitely, definitely, definitely a chance that you can do the same. But it's work, it's work. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. And please be good to yourselves. Find me on social media if you haven't, at a Black Cat's Voice on everything. And once again, please be kind in real life, not just on social media. And thank you so much for listening.